Welcome to R.S.V.P. Listen to the show at your own risk. We will be discussing all taboo subjects like religion, sex, violence, and even politics. You should be ready for controversy, disagreements, face-offs, and maybe some downright rumbles. Well, sit tight and get ready for this week's episode. And by the way, if you're squeamish about obscenities, don't listen to our fucking show!
You're live.
Hey everybody, it's Diane Daniels coming to you live from beautiful, very hot and humid Tampa, Florida today. But happy and very happy to be alive and healthy amongst the coronavirus pandemic. And with me today is the beautiful and sexy and sultry Miss Bernadette Desmond coming to you live from Australia. How we doing, mate?
Hello, love. How you going? Look, mate, I'm great. Yeah, I tell you what, I wish it was hot and humid over here. I've got the fire going because we're going into winter and we've had this cold snap that's just come over the last couple of days. So, we're all running around all rugged up and putting the heaters and the fire on, which I don't mind. I quite like, feeling cold as long as I'm warm and I've got a fire going.
It's so odd sometimes to think about that. Like it's summer, almost summer here, but it's almost winter where you are. Strange, right?
Yeah, I know. Hey, I'm so excited about today's show though. We have got a big one today. And I know, God bless you and your little cotton socks. You've been working on this like a little Trojan over the last week, pulling it all together.
Pulling it all together. That's right, people. We have got a wonderful, wonderful guest. We've got Shelley Luther, and Shelley Luther is, number one, a fantastic human being, and she's a mom. She's a hairstylist who owns a salon in Dallas, Texas. And amidst from all this pandemic crap and the stay at home and the shut everything down, it got to be a point for everybody where small business is really taking a serious hit with no money coming in. How are we supposed to feed our families? So despite the orders from the state of Texas, Shelley opened up her salon safely. But amidst all that, she got sent to court and she spent some time in jail. So we're going to be talking to her. Do you even know who Shelley is over there in Australia?
We do know who Shelley is over here in Australia. I wouldn't say it's been massive news over here, but the reaction for most people over here when they hear the story is going, what the? Because there is no way in Australia, if you opened up your business, outside of pandemic laws or whatever it is, that you would be chucked in jail. It just wouldn't happen.
Shoes on.
So to hear that somebody, was thrown in jail because they decided that they wanted to open up their business and they wanted to, I guess, go against whatever the pandemic laws were for their state or their city or their county, just seems honestly completely surreal. And I think just one of those things too that's just so screwed up and so conflicting in the whole pandemic situation that you're hearing around the world, where it's health versus dollars and business versus laws, and I don't know, just some of the stuff that's been done over the whole pandemic in everybody's countries just seems so crazy to me.
Well, it's amazing. This has been a global story. Okay, but talking about a human being, a mom, okay, a person, a business owner, a small business owner trying to get income for her family so that she can feed her children, pay her bills, and the people that are the hairstylists in her salon, just like that, Bern. And that's what she was trying to do in a very safe manner. And for a judge to come out and tell her, and you know what, it wasn't even because of the fact that she kept the salon open despite the order. He put her in jail for contempt because she didn't apologize. That narcissistic judge had the audacity to put her in jail because of contempt of court. because he wanted her to apologize, and then he would let her go free with just a fine. What an ass, right? What an ass.
And I read that too, and that was one of my things. Like when I first heard about the story, was going, okay, so like obviously, yes, we've got laws and we've got constitution.
When you're ready.
Things, right? But I was just absolutely flabbergasted when it was like, you know what? I won't put you in jail if you say sorry.
Yeah.
So
Well,
basically, that's what they did. She didn't agree to say sorry.
If you don't do something wrong, you don't say you're sorry.
Yeah. So
all right. So we've got her here. Let's bring Shelley on. Shelley, it is such a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for coming on R.S.V.P.
Oh, of course. Thanks for having me.
Hello, Shelley. So lovely to meet you from like down under, and a fellow hairstylist and small business owner.
Oh, good. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. Yeah. You too.
It's so amazing, Shelley, to see how things are unraveling around the United States and around the globe. If you could believe it or not, Bernadette even has stricter laws that are going on over in Australia than we do here. If you could even imagine, it's so crazy. So she totally emphasizes and understands what you're going through, right, Bernie? As a hairstylist.
Absolutely. It's so interesting because in Australia, Shelley, hairdressing's been classed as an essential service. So we've been actually able to open for the entire time. However, the restrictions around your trade about how you can actually do your job have just been crazy. So for instance, we can only do clients' hair if we're 1.5 meters away, which is about 4 feet in your measurement. So
what if your arms are
I
short?
know.
Exactly.
It's Inspector Gadget arms, right?
More discrimination, absolute discrimination against short people.
There you go. 100% right.
It's honestly, it's just been so crazy. So we've had kind of the opposite to you, like whereas for you, right, like it was classed as non-essential. So you guys were just shut completely down.
Right. Yeah, we were, but the pet groomer next door was able to open. They were essential.
So I don't understand that. How is a pet groomer an essential business?
And I don't understand any of it. That's why I had to fight. All of it was so ridiculous. I mean, if we're that scared, shut everybody down, but don't, keep some open and some closed and picking the winners and losers. That is complete discrimination. And you can't do that.
Well, I'll tell you, that is just absolutely ridiculous. And I want to tell you something, Shelley, because Bernie and I both feel the same way here today. We totally support you. And I read over Governor Abbott's declaration, okay? And in his declaration, he wrote down this executive order does not mandate sheltering in place. All critical infrastructures will remain operational. Domestic travel will remain unrestricted, and government entities and business will continue providing essential services. And that's according to the Department of Homeland Security. You're going to find this interesting, and I'm sure your attorney might have brought this up to you, but I looked up the definition of essential services, and it goes blah, 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 right? But then it says the industries they support represent but are not necessarily limited to medical and healthcare. And then it goes on, blah, 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 blah. Do you want to know what the definition of healthcare is according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary? You ready, everybody?
I'd love it.
This is Merriam-Webster's Dictionary. So I would think that would be good evidence. Efforts made to maintain or restore physical, mental, or emotional well-being, especially by trained and licensed professionals. Shelley, are you a licensed professional?
Well, actually, I own the salon, but I don't cut hair. But the 20 stylists underneath me that work there, absolutely licensed professionals.
Okay, and if Bernie, you're a hairstylist and the owner, are you a licensed professional?
Surely am.
All right, and let me ask both ladies, do you provide mental and emotional well-being for your clients?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Guess what, ladies? That's
Clients
an essential
and
freaking
stuff.
business.
Well, you know what's
Essential
crazy?
business.
We have older ladies that come in the salon that can't wash their own hair. They can't raise their shoulders, or anybody with a disability. That we had a lady that went 3 or 4 weeks without her hair getting washed because she didn't want to. She was too embarrassed to have somebody come to her house, or didn't want to. She was scared. So can you imagine an elderly lady going 3 or 4 weeks without washing her hair, and you want to call us non-essential?
Absolutely not. After I did that research, Shelley, you are 1000% essential. I also have a greater understanding and humility and appreciation for you and all of our salon owners, massage therapists, tattoo owners, all of you. It is so essential and needed. You're right. It's just a bunch of crap.
To be honest with you, it's not even the point whether we're essential or not. It's essential to everybody working. Every business is essential. So it's essential to their family. It's essential to feed their family. And whether or not the service is an emergency service does not matter. That's how we provide income for our families. So it is essential.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
Yeah.
And I want to go back and talk about, because that declaration from Governor Abbott that I was reading back then was dated March 19th. And so everything after that would have been in violation of the order. And when did you start hearing from the law enforcement in regards to shutting down the salon?
Day one. So I made it public on April 18th that I was going to open, and I opened on April 24th, and police were there that morning, April 24th. They gave me a citation, and basically that was from like the state licensing place saying I was operating under, defiance of the ordinance. And then, of course, I got a cease and desist letter that day from one of the county commissioners, and saying that I could be sued or have criminal charges put against me. And of course, I didn't shut down again. And then I got a temporary restraining order from that Judge Moyer that everybody's seen the video of. And then after that, you see me at my court hearing.
Yeah, we all watched the video with Judge Eric Moyer and his pomp and stance, narcissistic attitude, and trying to tell you that you need to apologize and then he won't give you jail time when you didn't even do anything wrong. Okay, and it just made me sick to see it in his decision. Did you? I know you read it, but to hear someone's words say the defiance of the court order was open, flagrant, and intentional, and Luther expressed no contrition, remorse, or regret for her actions. What an ass. That's all I'm going to say. What an ass. That's just awful.
Well, I mean, he did get one thing right, that I did not express any I didn't feel bad about what I did. And I know for sure I wasn't being selfish. And
No,
so
you weren't.
if you want to construe it that way, then I'm just glad it was on video, because I don't think people would have actually believed that that happened if it wasn't on video.
You're right. You're right. It's just even hard to imagine looking at it. It's like in this day and age, in a court system, to see something happening like that.
I'm really concerned about people that are in jail right now that have been put through that, and that they're silenced because their hearing wasn't, live streamed. And the way that he acted, there has to be people in jail that went through that, but they don't have a voice. So it's horrible the way he acted. It was just inexcusable.
Well, the one thing that's good that's coming up is that he is up for re-election in November. And we want all of you out there to know, do not vote for that ass, okay? He should not be on a bench having his own personal bias like that. We don't need that on a bench. We need unbiased judges who just listen to facts. That's it. Don't vote for him.
No.
Now, do you know that there's still 4 states that are still in shutdown?
Yeah, I just got back from Michigan, and she's actually opened up the state a little bit since I was there. I went up and teamed up with Carl Menke, who's the barber that's kind of leading the Michigan stance there. And he actually won in court, getting his license back and being able to hold his salon or his barbershop open. So that was a big win there. And I think Governor Whitmer is actually seeing that the people are going to do what they want to do, and so she can open it up and look like the hero, or she can not, and the whole state is just going to go against her.
Yeah, they are. Again, when it's time to vote, the people are going to remember this. Okay?
Right.
You can't stop people from making their livelihood. What difference does it make? All the businesses should be open. The people are the ones that need to be responsible to exhibit control and practice self guidelines so that we're safe for everybody so we can make an income. I'm a small business owner. Bernie's a small business owner. You're a small business. Small business makes up 80% of this country. Right, Bern?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And over here in Australia, we've had like quite the opposite experience because our restrictions have been so severe. But again, the same as you, like, like you can't open up your business, but the dog grooming place next door can open up theirs. I mean, that just blows my mind. And over here, we had the same thing. So through the actual bulk of the pandemic, when it was all going down, we would have shopping centres where you would have like particular stores that were open, and then the one beside it would not be able to be open. And then we actually had businesses going, you know what, this is so crazy and so shit. What we're going to do is we're going to now go and make our own decisions about whether we're going to open or we're going to actually close. And my business, my salon, is in the heart of a tourism area. So in Queensland, we've got the borders shut. So that means that if you are in New South Wales or anywhere else in Australia, you cannot travel and go into Queensland. What that's done for Queensland and for our small businesses is that we are on our knees. I opened my salon on Thursday after being shut for 8 or 9 weeks, and I opened it up to 0 people. So we've now got the business open again, and I've gone from having 6 staff to 1 staff. And yesterday we had 0 people walk into the salon because there is literally no one around. So everyone's going, messages, open, 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 trade, 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 employ your staff, which is all fantastic. That's what we wanted to do the entire time anyway. But the other messaging is, you know what, it's really unsafe out there. Stay home. So guess what people are doing? They're staying home. Borders are not open. Tourists are not coming. We've got school holidays coming up, and every single day we've got businesses shutting down, and they will never, ever reopen their doors again.
That is so horrible. And you know what? The CDC is now coming out saying that the virus doesn't live on surfaces, or they don't think it does anymore. And they're not even sure if people that are asymptomatic, from the WHO is saying that they're not even sure that people that are asymptomatic can even pass the virus. So who are we listening to? Like, what's going on?
Exactly.
We people need to make our own decisions, because the day I went into jail, you can get your dog groomed. You could buy CBD oil. You could get liquor to go. You could get a lap dance because the strip clubs were open, but you could not get your hair cut.
But you know what that means, Shelley? That was a violation of your 8th Amendment right. That was cruel and unusual punishment. That's exactly what that was. A violation of your 8th Amendment right.
There's lots of rights being violated, but
Oh, a lot more than that, I know. But for you to have to be placed in jail absolutely was a violation of that altogether. I mean, it just makes me nauseous, your whole story. And I commend you so much for what you've done and standing up for your rights. And you're standing up for so many other people, like you said, that don't even have a voice. It's crazy. Look at all those people, the prisoners that got released from so many states. Oh my God, there's 4 states that let out over 3,000 prisoners in each state. Here in Florida, they let out a prisoner in Tampa. He's accused of already murdering somebody the next day.
That is ridiculous.
And I'm sure. Oh, please, domestic violent crimes all over the place. It's just awful.
I'm such a dangerous person to society. I needed to be locked up.
You absolutely needed to be locked up.
It is. It's honestly, and I think again, it goes back to what you were saying, Shelley, who's making these decisions and based on what really? I mean, all we're doing is sitting here in our lives, trying to do the best that we can, being fed all of this bullshit. And we don't really know how much is actually valid and how much is not valid, right? And
it's all political. I learned, honestly, it's all political.
I am with you on that. 100%. It's all political now.
Yeah,
it's sick.
I mean, we've got politicians over here now who, because we've got 4 states that are still in actual border closures. So meaning you can't travel in unless you've got exemptions. I was telling Di like a couple of weeks ago, we've had no planes flying in and around Australia for about 8 or 9 weeks. So we've got airlines on their knees. You know, we've got 10,000 plus employees being put off on one airline because nobody's flying. Now we've got these two politicians that are coming out and saying, you know, it's against our constitutional rights to trade about having these borders shut. So they're trying to put pressure on these premiers to open up these borders so that people can continue to trade and, you know, prosper. And let's face it, we've got to learn how to live with this virus, right? It's not going to go away as far as everybody tells us. So what do? Go in isolation quarantine for the rest of our lives?
No, I think they attacked it the wrong way. They should have protected the vulnerable and let the healthy continue to run the economy. And when they went to, instead of being proactive, they were reactive. They should have went directly to the nursing homes first, right away, because those are the most vulnerable population. And if they would have done that, especially Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan, she has blood on her hands for how many elderly people died in that state because she was so worried about getting hospital beds that she didn't even use. She should have gone to the nursing homes, given all of those people the proper equipment that they needed, and there would have been much fewer deaths in Michigan and other states, I'm sure.
Well, unfortunately, New York, that's what happened in New York.
Right.
The epicenter, right, where Cuomo, they sent people back to nursing homes to spread the virus. Yeah, you know, and look, this is the first time we've ever encountered something like this. I know nobody knew what to do, what's going on, and there's some time to get acclimated. But we have to have people that can think, okay? And like you said, let's protect our vulnerable, our elderly, our children, and let's get our healthy people, keep the economy going, get out there, and just let's be responsible citizens. If we could be responsible, everything could be
safe. Even if it wasn't safe, though, it's my decision to decide whether I want to go out or not. It's not the government's.
Nope, not the government's at all. Not at all.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Shelley. Well, tell us what you're doing now.
So I have actually created a charitable organization called Courage to Stand at couragetostand.com. And of course, everybody knows how I received a ton of money the couple of days I was in jail. And what we want to do is help small businesses get back on their feet. Anybody that feels like the government is reaching, you know, that long arm of the government is reaching out a little far, I want to stand with them with, you know, money or, you know, go like I did with the barber. Today, we just gave away a $12,500 barber shop scholarship for a gentleman that was homeless because of all the things going on. So now he has his whole barber shop license scholarship taken care of, and now he can be an entrepreneur and start his life back again. But this gentleman was living in his car.
That's amazing, Shelley. That's amazing. I've already seen the site and contributed to it. And I implore all of you watching and listening to our program today, please check out the site, okay? And take a look at it. And please donate to Courage to Stand. Okay, we all have a right to protect our businesses and our way of living, okay? And to be safe through this whole thing going on with this virus. But we all have to maintain our lives and our families, just like Shelley has done since day one. So check it out and donate. It's going to great causes. So thank you so much, Shelley, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. It was so nice to meet both of you.
We support you so much. And please come back again. Let us know how else we can help and keep us, let us know what you're doing as you're moving forward.
I sure will. Nice talking with you, ladies.
All right. Thank you so much, Shelley.
Thank you, Shelley. May the force be with you.
I need it. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Take care.
What a nice lady, huh?
You know what? I love the fact, too, that she's taken this entire experience and she's put, I guess, such a, not just a positive spin on it, but she's out there and she's campaigning basically, and she's getting out there and she's helping change lives. I mean, you know, like I just read today that you guys in the States, right, are topping 38 million people unemployed by this virus. You know, like 38 million people, like that guy she was talking about who's homeless and in his car. And God knows what else. I mean, it absolutely blows your mind when you say that. I mean, and I know myself from my experience, with, you know, Sean and me with our businesses, and not just us, but our staff too, that whilst obviously the health impacts of this are phenomenal, the financial impacts of this, we are going to be feeling, I think, the depth of those vibrations for years to come, like years.
Yeah. I mean, of course. Do you mind? Let's put up that picture. Rob, can you put up the picture of the mall? It looks like it's a mall that never even opened.
Yeah.
Go ahead and describe that, Bern.
So this here, so the picture that's actually on the right-hand side as you're looking at the screen is my salon. Like, so you'll see a picture there of, you know, on the left. And so you'll see how many people that are not in this mall. So this is taken at 1 o'clock on a Saturday. So normally at 1 o'clock on a Saturday, I would have between like 4 and 6 staff on, and we would be going like the absolute clappers, not getting anything to eat or drink because we would be busting at the seams with clients. And you can see here that this is what we're actually faced with now. And this is with restrictions eased. So that means that, you know, 10 or more people can go out together and all that kind of stuff. And this is actually what we're left with. So this is what this shop, and this is in the heart of Surfers Paradise on the Gold Coast in Queensland, where normally 80% of my business is trade is from tourists. And this is what we've got left to trade with now.
It's terrible, Bern. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it feels like death in there. Honestly, it really and truly does. Like, you know, when Sean and I go in there, the whole energy is just so different, and still so many shops shut anyway. Yeah. And shops that
that is
shut.
Sad. That's just sad.
Yeah. Like, you know, and I mean, I just don't really know where people think we're all going to be come September, when all of the government's benefits that they're paying out at the moment, when that stops. That's when we will really know what's actually happened in Australia. And I think for people, I was talking to somebody yesterday who's got their job, right? Like, you know, it's a government job. So, and we were talking about how they are in a protected bubble. So they don't really know what's happening out there in small business and the effects it's having on families and workers, because they're out of jobs, because their jobs have never been under threat, you know, like they're in the education industry. So they've just been going on and doing their stuff. And I was talking to them about, like, you know, what's going to happen in September when the government subsidies finish, and they're just completely oblivious. So we do have people in the community too that are completely unaware about what the actual financial impacts are going to be. You know,
now,
from
tell
this pandemic.
Tell everybody, do you happen to know what your total count is for positive cases in Australia now?
Yeah, we got 14 cases yesterday.
No, not just like where you live. Do you know what it is in the entire country? For
the
total about
for the entire pandemic, I think we've just clicked over 7,000.
7,000
for the entire that's for the entire country.
Listen, lady, we've got like friggin' almost 100,000 in Florida. What the hell? 7,000 people? That's it?
Yeah, 7.
And you have the borders closed. You can't even go state to state.
Yeah, you can't go.
Fly. You can't fly from Queensland to Tasmania.
No. So you could not fly into Queensland. Like, so we've got this politician, Clive Palmer. He's like a billionaire mining magnate, bit of a dick, but anyway. And
we got plenty of those too.
Yeah. He wanted to fly from Queensland. So he's based in Queensland. That's where his mining company is. He wanted to fly from Queensland to Western Australia. So Western Australia is one of the borders that have got their borders shut. So he wanted to fly in, right? And you can get an exemption to fly in, like if you need to, like, you know, if somebody in your family's dying or something like that, right? Anyway, they wouldn't give him an exemption, so he couldn't go to these big, you know, meetings, etc. So he is now going to, because he's got the dollars, he's now going to go and challenge the constitutional right, because it's saying that it's against our constitution because it's restricting trade, the opportunity to be able to trade.
It is. It totally
Which it is. And then we've got Anastasia Palaszczuk, who is the Premier of Queensland, and she is sitting in Queensland, and she is going, under no circumstances am I going to be opening the borders from pressure from anybody else. We've got another chick, Gladys Berejiklian, who's the Premier of New South Wales. New South Wales and Queensland on the borders like this with each other.
Mhm.
And what they're saying to Gladys Berejiklian in New South Wales is, you know what, love? You've got the worst record of all of the states in Australia. You've got community transmission. We don't have any of community transmission in Queensland, so you're not bringing your people into Queensland until you get your backyard sorted out. And
Do
meanwhile,
they talk to
we've got
Donnie
pictures-
and anybody over here, or what?
Hey?
Are they talking to
Like-
Donnie and everybody else over here, or what's going on?
Yeah,
I feel
absolutely.
like they're in the dark ages over there.
No, absolutely. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I think that our government have done a fantastic job on getting the lid on this thing so it didn't spread like wildfire. But the only reason that we didn't do it was because they shut down borders, international borders. They restricted travel. I mean, you know, we couldn't even travel, you know, essential services was to travel kind of like within 30 minutes of where you live to get like food or stuff like that. So,
crazy.
but now that, you know, we're down to 14 cases a day and they're starting to open up these restrictions and, you know, everyone's talking about a second wave, I think now it's time where we really sat down and looked at it and go, you know what, let's have a look at the repercussions going forward, because we need to start doing something now so this economy can actually start getting on its feet. Have a look at how many people are not in that shopping centre where my business is.
All right, but Bernie, we're going to need to do something over there, because you can't live like this, okay? And they're just going absolutely crazy over there. I mean, they are being so overly protective. It's like an overly protective parent.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're called helicopter parents. That's what they call them, right? You know,
Helicopter.
where like, you know,
What the
they're
hell is that?
helicopter parents, like, you know, where they're whirring around like that.
Oh
So,
my
like, you know, they're
God.
keeping you really safe. Like, that's, you know, in counselling terms, that's what it's called, love, is a helicopter parent.
Oh, hell, I got it. All right.
But you know,
Anyway.
it's true, and you know, I think over here, but it's interesting because we've not really had any protests or anything like that. You know, I don't know, like the Australian people have just kind of like gone along with like what it is that we've had to do, and I think everybody's been okay with it. But now people are going, we need to.
Bernie,
really...
how many weeks has it been that they've been asked to stay at home?
Oh, well, my business opened this week, and I shut that 8 or 9 weeks ago. So
9 weeks
it would
ago.
have to
Okay.
be. So it would have to be 3 months, I would say.
Okay, and you're telling me the majority of the Australian people are okay with that?
Yep. We have certainly have not had protests or anything like what you guys have had over there. Like we've got nobody that's, you know, out there cutting hair on the steps
Well,
of City
okay,
Hall.
but let me ask you,
or putting-
how are they surviving?
Well, the government has actually been really quite good, as in providing the benefits. Like, so you've got Job Seeker, which is for people that are like, you know, were previously on the unemployment benefits. And then you've got Job Keeper. So Job Keeper is for people like myself who have got staff. So we can apply to the government and the government will pay $1,500 a fortnight for you to keep your staff member.
$1,500 a what?
Fortnight. So every
What the
2
hell is
weeks
that?
you get $50, so $750 a week, right?
Oh, okay.
Right. So, but as the business owner, I have to have that money up front. So I have to pay, you know, if I had staff, I would have to pay them that money up front, and then the government reimburses me at the end of the month.
Okay, have they been
So-
doing that?
Yeah. It's only the money's only just started coming back to business owners like in the last week or so. So that's
Okay, so you're
definitely been a
behind
struggle.
also. So it's about a month and a half, 2 months behind.
Yep.
Okay, because over here, they're giving people who make, if you're a single individual who files your taxes single, you can
Yeah.
make up to $75,000 and you get $1,200. If you're married, obviously, you know, $150,000, you'll get $2,400.
Yep.
People have still not gotten their check. Okay, and they
Yeah.
have doled out millions and millions of dollars already to people that have.
Yeah.
But so
Yep.
many people still don't have it. Okay,
Yep.
our government is so slow, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And so, but what happens to people over there that actually have lost their jobs? Like there's 38 million people that are not working.
Well, they're going to file for unemployment, and that's a friggin' disaster too. That's a disaster. Okay, the sites are crashing because so many people are on
Yeah.
it.
Happened over
Okay.
here too.
Yeah, right. And then it's not working. They need more information, so it's delayed. Some people are getting through right away, so they're getting their benefits. Other people are not. Small businesses are applying for loans. They're applying so quickly that they're scoffing up whatever money it was, and then the other people that went in 24 hours didn't even get the money. So yeah, it's not good at all. So not for everybody. So it's difficult. So people have to be able to work. And as long as they're going to be responsible, that's the key word here. You have to be disciplined and responsible. Be safe for yourself and your fellow citizens.
I agree with that. Like, we need to get the economy opening. We need to get people to work. But this has been my thing the entire time, right? So, and the government over here has been saying that, like, we need to keep people working. We need to do it. But the fact of the matter is that if the messaging that you're going to give to the general population is it is really unsafe out there, you need to stay home. And by the way, you can only have, only your own people in your own home. Like we went to see friends of ours last weekend, right? It is the first time that we have been allowed by law to go and visit friends in over 3 months. Because
okay, so are you telling me that the government literally told you couldn't leave your house?
Yeah, so you couldn't have people over. So we could not have, if you lived near me, right, I could not have 3 or 4 people over to my house when we were in the guts of the pandemic. It was against the law. If you went and, we've got some footballers over here who went and had a camp, like they went camping together, right? And there was, I don't know how many of them, 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever it is. And anyway, it was too many people and they weren't supposed to having any social interaction. So they got fined for that. We have people over here that have been fined for having house parties and stuff like that. So we could not have barbecues in our backyard.
You couldn't have your own barbecue just for you and your husband?
No, me and my husband, we could, right?
Okay.
But we couldn't invite friends over. You couldn't have friends over for a barbecue.
Wow.
So those restrictions have just been eased now. So at the moment, you can have people over. You could only go outside if you were exercising and you'd had to be in a family. Otherwise, it would only in a shopping centre. If it was like me and Sean, we could go shopping together as a couple. You could go shopping together if it was you and a friend in twos. Now it's kind of like, going up to 10.
Hey, but Bernie, don't you think that that's a violation of your rights?
Yeah, I do. And I think also too, it's overkill.
It's way overkill.
But this is what I'm saying though, right? Is that you can't sort of say, let's get the economy going. We need people working when you're putting these restrictions in place and the messaging to the general population is it's so unsafe out there. If you go outside and you,
who's saying it's so unsafe? Who's saying it's so unsafe right now?
The government, huh?
What do you mean? What's so unsafe right now?
What?
You only have 14 cases today in the whole country.
Yeah,
14 cases. Yeah. What the hell is that? Okay, you've had more people that have had chickenpox probably. What the hell is wrong with you people?
I know. But like I said, and the thing here is, like I said, the whole thing I was saying all along is, it's great to say, keep your business open, access the government benefits, keep your staff employed, etc. But at the end of the day, people are staying home and were staying home and were ordering takeout and delivery and stuff like that because they couldn't go out. So in a business like mine, you saw the pictures. Nobody's walking past my door or walking into my business anyway with the doors open. So even now that we've got restrictions lifted and, the doors are open when we're ready to roll, there is still nobody around. There is nobody to come in and have the service. In regional areas, yes. But if you're talking in tourist spots like where my business is, like I said, it just feels like death. It's like everybody's on their knees.
Well, you need to tell them to watch this damn show, Bernie, okay? Because those Australians need to get up and speak out of protest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't think that Australians will do that. I think, like, now that we've got it at the 14 cases a day or whatever it is we're doing, I mean, I think that we'll start getting some politicians that are starting now to, like, wake up and stand up and go, well, I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. But I don't really, you know what? And honestly, I think, like,
Bernie,
for
you're
some
blowing my mind
businesses-
right now. 14 cases in the whole country. If
I know.
if we have 14
But,
cases in the United States, I'd be hugging and kissing everybody again.
I know, but
What the hell?
But the thing about it too, though, Di, is that for a lot of businesses over here, it's too little, too late now. Right? Like, for a lot of them, it's too little, too late.
Well, they should have spoke up.
Yeah, well.
Oh my God.
Didn't happen. And like I said, and I think, like, from the whole health perspective, everybody's proud of the fact that, we've got the whole thing, like, virtually. I mean, Northern Territory are actually now stating that they're coronavirus free.
Okay, but Bern, I'm glad that nobody got sick. I don't want anybody to be sick, but it is a fact that is so, every life matters. Every life matters. I don't like to see anybody die, but the numbers are very low of the people who died, and they're proud that they don't have it. If they got it, the majority of the people would be fine. They would just suffer at home like a regular flu.
Yep.
All right,
But,
I'm starting to
like I
worry
said-
about the Australians now. I'm starting to worry, okay?
When we do open up our borders and, you guys want to come over here or we want to go over there, at least you're going to come over here and it's all going to be quite safe.
Okay, you can come to my house and it's safe. For Christ's sake, since this started, you know how many people in my zip code? We only have 13 people that got the damn thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
We're not like New York or Detroit or Chicago or LA. Okay. I mean, most of the country.
Where Shelley's from too, I imagine, like in Dallas, Texas, would not be that many cases there, would there?
Well, Dallas is a big city, so a metropolitan area is going to obviously have more positive cases and more suburban or obviously rural areas. Yeah, she's going to have more cases, than some other suburban areas. But it's still going to be less than New York. Anybody's going to be less than New York. Christ, New York passed China. Okay.
Oh, I know, God. Oh,
although I know they're lying.
According to China's numbers, it passed.
They're lying. They're not being transparent.
Yeah.
I mean, even our own country isn't transparent, but at least they're putting out some numbers.
Yeah. But you know what? I think the whole point of this, though, is the craziness of the confliction around some of these laws and what's happened and not happened. Like, for someone to go to jail because, like, you didn't apologize to the judge.
That is bullshit.
On the other hand, you're releasing dangerous criminals, domestic violence, pedophiles, rapists, whatever.
Can I tell you this? Can I tell you about those damn prisoners? I have to tell you.
Tell me. I want to hear it.
California, okay? I'm up to here with California, okay? I'm up to here. I can't stand their governor. All right? I can't stand the guy, okay? They have let out in 1 week over 3,500 prisoners because they wanted to empty it out, okay? And of course, the recidivism is up through the roof for all these people. Okay, so listen, number one, we have, you just said, what is it, 39 million with jobless unemployment? Yep. Well, what the hell are people that were in jail for the past 3 years doing? They don't have a job either. Yep. What do they know how to do? Commit a goddamn crime. So what do you think they're going to do? They're going to commit a crime, the poor goddamn idiots. They don't have nothing else to do. They have no training. They don't know what to do. They've been listening to orders for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. So they're going to commit more crimes, okay? First of all, if you're in jail, you don't have any rights. All right, you gave up your rights when you became a prisoner. Tell me what would be safer than to leave a prisoner in their frickin' cell? How are you going to catch the virus if you're in your cell by yourself?
Well, aren't they saying it's due to overcrowding?
I don't give a shit what they say. Do you know what? We have some independent living for our elderly people around where I live. Do you know when this started, they were told to stay in their rooms, stay in their rooms,
Yep.
and they brought their meals to them.
Yep.
So that's like being in a jail cell, is it not?
Yep.
These women, older men and women, stayed in their apartments, and the staff brought them 3 meals a day to them. They never left their room for weeks. You could sure as hell leave a prisoner in their cell.
But you know what?
Instead, they let them out, and they're murdering people.
I know, but again too, right? Like just like another spin on this, like about how crazy this stuff is have you heard about how many people like workers are trapped on cruise boats around the world?
Yes.
So
yes.
so they're trapped there, right? And they've been on these boats for months.
Mm-hmm.
They've got coronavirus raging through these places.
Mm-hmm.
The businesses that own them are saying that because they're from various countries, they can't repatriate them and get them back off the ship and into their own countries because borders have shut and all that kind of thing. So basically, is that not like a loss of freedom and a loss of your rights, and you're in prison on a boat and they're not even being paid, these people? So they're just stuck. Can you imagine that? And yet here we are then.
I cannot imagine it.
Imagine that. But let's just go and let prisoners out, but let's lock up people like Shelley and let these poor bastards stay on these boats for months on end. No contact with family, not being paid. I mean, it's crazy. Beyond crazy, actually.
All right, you're making me sad. Let's get the funny stuff, okay? Stop depressing me already. All right, let's go. Give me something funny. What do you got? You got something funny for me?
Yeah, Rob, what have you got there funny for me? I sent you over, like, so over here, as I said. So this is how we need to, like, technically hairdress here in Australia, because we can open because we're essential. However, you have to do it from 1.5 meters back. So unless you're Edward Scissorhands, love, this is how you do hairdressing in Australia. Maybe that's what I should have done the whole bloody time. I should have just stayed open and got a couple of broomsticks and whacked some scissors on one end and whacked the comb on the other.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And then, look. Now, look, just in case you cannot afford masks or you can't find any, this is what we do here in Australia, right? So
it looks like a Halloween costume.
What?
I'm going to wear that for Halloween. Are you telling me a hairdresser wore that? A hairdresser wore that?
Well, it was a joke, but yes.
Oh, it was a joke. All right. I was like, come on, people. That's it? A freaking umbrella?
Yeah. But look, how effective is it?
You people are weird over there, okay? I thought we were weird over here. You people are more weird.
I prefer to say creative.
Creative? Okay. Oh, my God. All right, let's go. All right, here we go. Look, when your hair salon is closed, go to the dog groomers because they're an essential business and they got a cancellation, right? What a bunch of bullshit.
And can I tell you that I would love, honestly, to be able to get a whole group of people together that have been doing their own hair in isolation and see exactly what they've done, because I guarantee you there will be people that have got their fringes cut up to here. They've got an asymmetrical going on when they didn't need to have one. People like, going to go from your hair color to mine, and they're just going to go to the chemist and get a little box dye and do it themselves and look like a
you know what? You know what's happening now? I bet you, the old bull dude, like the Cracker Jack hairdo.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? The bull.
Yeah.
Watch, it's going to come back now. Everybody's got the bull.
Oh my God.
What's that thing they sold on TV that they tell everybody to buy? The Foosbee or something? The Flowbee, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. Talk English, woman.
A Flowbee.
Floby?
sell it, Floby, and they
What
sell
is
it
a
here in America.
Floby?
I'm telling you. And it goes,
Oh,
and
like
you zip
clippers.
it like it, but they zip it through your hair, and it only allows like a half an inch. You could set it for half an inch, or whatever, and you just friggin' just go around your head. And it
Yeah,
just cuts off.
yeah. We call them clippers over here, and you put a guard on them, and you just just go zzzz like that, and then you look like you got a tennis ball head.
Right, Floby.
Floby.
Hey, that's
What
going
is
with
that?
your Miffy. What do we call that? The Miffy?
No, you mimsy love.
Miffy. Okay.
And I certainly hope that you have been using Lux with your mimsy.
And my Floby on my Mimsy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a Floby, right? Yeah, so it's like, oh my God, it looks like a vacuum cleaner.
well, it's cutting in and sucking it in. And you don't no worry about cleaning up.
Never seen that in my life before. See,
Oh, for
you learn
God's
something new
sake.
every single day.
Get
don't
on the internet, woman.
you? Oh, obviously I'm missing out.
What else you got for me?
Maybe. Well, I've also got. This was a bit controversial that I saw through the week, which is like a sign about, and this is in America, and
Of
it's about the
course,
freedom
of
of
course.
rights. Of course it is. We don't see these signs over here, right? But
I'm
anyway,
ready.
it's this sign here, right? So it's saying like, our freedom doesn't end where your fears begin. If you're scared, stay at home. If you're afraid to be with, what's that, GFT?
Within.
Oh, 6 foot of another person, do not enter this business. God bless America, a land of the free and the home of the brave.
Right.
So this is what they've got stuck up in there. And they're selling cars, I think, Kia cars, right? So they got this like stuck up in their window. So in other words, I think if you go there and you got a mask or whatever it is, they're sort of pretty much saying like you stay away because you're too scared, so don't come in here.
That's what they're trying to say. If you don't want to come in, don't freaking come in. Stay the hell home. But hey, if you're ready to come out and wear your mask, come on in.
I thought it was an interesting marketing strategy for a business too, because I think what they're trying to do is like attract somebody and going, okay, you know what, we're brave and we're standing up for ourselves. So when you come in here, people are not going to be standing 6 foot away from each other, right? Or wear masks.
Right.
So do you mean to tell me that if I went there with my umbrella mask on that they wouldn't let me in?
Let me tell you something. If you come here with that umbrella thing, we're putting you away. We're putting you away in one of the beds that was occupied by a prisoner that got let out.
You know what? You might put me away, but in America I'd be released straight away anyway, because that's what you do over there.
No, only the felons get released, okay? The perverts and the domestic violence idiots and the murderers.
I can't believe
umbrella
that. I can't
mask.
believe that, I can't believe that DV perpetrators, they just get. And do you know what? I actually read that some guy over there got charged with murder one day and got released the next day.
I'm telling you, they are freaking psychos. They're running the government. They're all crazy. It doesn't matter what the hell, Democratic, Republican, they're all psycho. Okay? They're just bullshit. They're all using the virus to try to, make it better for their friggin' whatever the hell. Their political party.
But you guys have got elections going on over there too. Like, do you think that's why it's quite political over there, because you're coming up with some big elections this year, aren't you?
Well, the big one is in November, but right now during the year they have smaller ones in the different states. If someone retired or died or whatever happened, they got to fill the seat. But the big one is, is in November, and both sides are all pissed off because they can't do their proper bullshit, with their ads and get out there and their
campaigning and stuff.
Yeah, so they're using the virus for both of them.
So how do you think Donnie's going to go?
I have no idea what the hell is going to happen with Donnie. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know. I really don't. We're waiting to see the vice president who used to be for Obama. That's who's running for the Democrat.
Yeah.
He's the head candidate, and everybody's kind of waiting to see who he picks as his vice president.
Right.
So I think when they hear that, that'll help people make a decision.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So they're sort of waiting for that to set the tone and see what happens.
Yep, exactly. So,
I mean, we've had some amazing guests on our show, I reckon, over the last 3 or 4 weeks, etc. So if anybody's out there and you've got opinions or you've got experiences about, religion, sex, violence, or politics,
bring it
give
on,
us
baby.
an email at, what is it, Di?
It's talk rsvppodcast.com, right?
That's it. So, yeah.
All right.
Flick
You
us
ready
an
to spin
email
the
if
wheel?
You want to get on.
You want to spin the wheel?
Oh, yeah, spin the wheel. Come on, baby. But I want to see the wheel this week.
Let's see what we're going to talk about next week.
Yeah. Stop hiding it. I want to see it.
All right. Here we go.
You love doing this, don't you?
I love it.
What is it?
It's
Violence.
V. Violence, baby.
V for violence. Now, we haven't done violence before.
We're doing violence.
We're doing
V for
violence. Such a fun topic.
It's a good time. We got plenty of violence here in America. Forget about you Australians with your 14 freaking national people that have the.
Yeah, I know. Us over here with our 14. And, we're really, really bloody excited because in New South Wales, they announced from the 1st of June, you can have 50 people at a time in like the bars or like a restaurant or something like that. So it's like we're going ahead in leaps and bounds over here.
All right. I'm worried about you, but okay.
50 people at a time.
All right. If anybody out there has a question that you'd like to ask me and Bernadette, or you'd like to talk about a topic we've had on one of our shows, or you want to be a guest on our show, just send us an email and send it to talk@rsvppodcast.com. And Bernie and I will get back to you because we don't use virtual assistants. We take care of this business by ourselves because we're on it. Right, Bert?
Absolutely. All of us, like our beautiful, wonderful, amazing self, that's what we do. So if you want to get in contact, if you want to get in contact with us and you want to be part of then bask in that fabulous energy,
yes,
let us know. Yeah,
yes.
Just let us know. Or if you just want to come on and have a laugh.
Let's thank Shelley Luther for being our guest for today. She's a wonderful human being, and we stand up for her fight for the rights of our Americans. And thanks so much, Bernie. And thanks so much, Shelley.
Thanks,
and we'll see you next week, babe.
You will. Ciao, ciao.
Welcome to R.S.V.P. Listen to the show at your own risk. We will be discussing all taboo subjects like religion, sex, violence, and even politics. You should be ready for controversy, disagreements, face-offs, and maybe some downright rumbles. Well, sit tight and get ready for this week's episode. And by the way, if you're squeamish about obscenities, don't listen to our fucking show!